Why is dating so fucking hard in 2021? Well, to me, fear. I feel like it's just fear. That's the main shit. Now the subdivisions is because I can't trust that person, or I was hurt the last time, or he gonna hurt me like that. She gonna hurt me this way, and she just about money or whatever. It's all about fucking fear. You know what I'm saying? And who can blame you for being fearful of being hurt? Nobody wants to feel pain. It's not a good feeling. It's not being played for a fool, but ultimately our fucking egos, our egos protect us from pain. So it's just like the ego in us is not allowing us to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do right. And if this person fucks up, that's on them. When we go into situations with people, we tend to make whatever they do about us. Like, they cheated because of me. Some people do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was something about me that wasn't good enough. That's why they had to cheat. Or, you know what I'm saying, they lack something with, you know what I'm saying, they feel like they lack something, but it's actually the other person who was lacking. And you got to be able to take that, absorb it, and realize it's not you. A lot of times it's not you. But love is something that we weren't really taught how to do. I feel like a lot of people were taught how to need people, but they weren't taught how to love people. You know what I'm saying? Like, reading the book, The Mastery of Love, kind of showed that, how Don Miguel Ruiz puts it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of humans are made to like need people, but as far as like learning how to love people, not wanting to change them for who they are and all that shit, we say I love you a lot of times, but we're like, oh, it'd be nice if you were to, like we just try to change folk. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. So do we really love them for who they are? And even me in recent times, I've said that, and an individual called me out on that. So it's just like, yeah, I guess no, I guess not. I guess it is conditional love. You know what I mean? And you have to accept that, and it's just the way it is. And being honest with yourself and realizing maybe you don't know that much about fucking love your damn self. You know what I'm saying? And you have to consider, do you love yourself unconditionally? Because if I don't love myself unconditionally, how the fuck I'm gonna love anybody else, unconditionally? So, but dating it's rough because of our fears. I feel like, like, damn, she's so attractive, but is she so attractive that she's gonna fuck around with me like the last pretty girl did? Damn, he's fine as hell, but is he gonna fuck around on me the way that other person did? Is he gonna try to get me stick me for my papers? Or, you know what I'm saying, any reason we can come up with. Our brains are wired for negativity. So we'll find something wrong with a situation. I don't give a fuck who you are. You literally have a perfect man, a perfect woman, perfect bitch, perfect nigga, whatever you refer to a person as, and you'll be like, oh no, see, his hair cut too long. He probably will see the last person had their hair cut too long. He gonna fuck around on me. Oh, her nipples too big. Last time I had a bitch with big nipples, this happened. So whatever reason you come up with, it's just like you're wired to look for it. If you go looking for something, you're going to find it. That's how our brains are operating too. Know that. You know what I'm saying? If you are afraid to date, then you shouldn't be dating. Now, a lot of us don't realize we're afraid to date until we get in relationships a lot of times. But at that time, you have to be honest with that person. You suffer from fear of intimacy. I spent years not being in relationships and just having sex with no attachments type shit, at least on my end. You know what I mean? And it wasn't fair to those women, no, but it was the fear of intimacy. And the reason why I was able to have sex is because that was something that I was doing in my upbringing. You know what I mean? Like chasing women in the act of having sex and stuff like that. So it just seems normal. A lot of us are doing shit from our younger days. And that's why things just seem so like, it just seems normal to us, familiar, if you will. But being in a healthy relationship is something that is foreign to me. And being in a relationship with somebody that's willing to communicate is very foreign. It's used to being like, we're screaming at each other type shit. Whoever screams the loudest is in control. And it brings a lot of traumas, it leaves a lot of anxiety, nerves and shit like that. You keep thinking that you're going to get into, I don't know, a spat or something like that. And then sometimes it leads to sex. Sometimes it just leads to people going to sleep with their backs to each other. One side crying, other side is on their phone talking to another person that's trying to, pursue them and become the new problem. That's just how dating has been. I love a line from Drake's Take Care. Actually, it was off the Take Care album. He says, we live in a generation of not being in love and not being together, but we make it feel like we're together because we're scared to see each other with somebody else. And that is just what the dynamics of relationships have become for a lot of us. And it's like, we're not really taught love. It's like everything comes so fast, man. Like with social media, the internet has made everything so readily accessible. So we feel very entitled to shit. Like if she don't want to do this, there's another bitch that's willing to do that. If he don't want to do it, there's another nigga that's willing to do this shit for me type thing. Like nobody's sitting and just going through it with the person they're talking to. You know what I mean? And dating is just, it's gotten different. There's a lot of things that, knowledge that you're not privy to. And you get exposed to it. Once you get exposed to it, it's just like you apply it. And you look at things from this perspective and it's like, holy shit, this is life. This is how dating maybe this is how dating is. You know what I mean? So it's a mind fuck. It's something for you to figure out on your own, like how to date. I've never been married. I've never been officially engaged. I mean, I did some puppy love shit where I proposed to my girlfriend before I went to the Air Force, but that, I don't really count that shit. But like to be able to talk, to be in a relationship with a woman, getting to know her, right, and then to be in a relationship with her, and then also like meeting her family and wanting to, and us actually getting along. It's not like me just there out of obligation or something like that. I genuinely want to be here with you, learn you, and try to love you and all this other shit. And things to go, I mean, we have issues and all that stuff, but we're just working together to become like family. And I want to say that while my last relationship, I somewhat did a lot of things, but I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I wasn't mentally, no. I was fucked up. I was in some trauma, like some real stalking type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just, I don't know, the nerves were just crazy bad. I just felt really alone. And I found myself I made an emotional decision. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that I didn't care about that individual that I was with. It's more so just where I was mentally. I lived in fear versus living in love. And I feel like part of that person was too. I feel like they were living in fear too. I think we all do, man, and we don't realize that we're living in fear. So I go back to the original statement, as I said at the beginning of this, that dating is so fucked up today because we live in fucking fear. Ultimately, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to figure out exactly what we want and then remove all distractions from that. And dating's different. A lot has changed. There used to be structure. Now there's chaos with dating today as to where structure may be, 50 years, 60 years ago, shit like that. But tables have turned, definitely. There's a lot to be learned. But if I can give anybody advice on dating, just don't have fear. Have transparency. I didn't always share transparency in my relationships, and it came at a cost. And also with them too. So I feel like we all lived in fear because we felt like if we showed each other who we were, they probably wouldn't love them. So therefore, we're just living an illusion. We're living with the idea of somebody. So I just feel like all of us should figure out what the fuck we want, live in transparency, and just communicate. Learn how to be a fucking better communicator. And maybe dating will be better. the most embarrassing thing that has happened to me in Sexx. Okay, so my senior year. It's my senior year. I'm 17, and I've been trying to, I've been grooming this girl for like, it's probably a year and a half to try to get the pussy. This is just the opportunist mind that I had back then, maybe even now. Who knows? Just in different ways. As a grown man, it's switch, your strategies and you mature, but you're still somebody that moves with intent. Everything is with intent. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to 2003, this girl tells me she's, her parents are about to go to this Jill Scott concert, right? I think it was Jill Scott. Yeah, it was a Jill Scott concert. Somewhere in Hampton, probably. Or the Virginia Amphitheater. Shout out to the 757. And she basically, the spotlight puts on you. And fellas, if you're young, and it's like that American Pie moment, you're going to go in the room with whatever the fucking girl's name was, Shannon Elizabeth's character. Are you going to do it or not? So it's like, it was on me. But I'm nervous as shit because I'm not fucking like that. I'm fucking 17 years old. I got no business fucking to begin with. And so I go over there. I tell my mom and my dad I'm going to go pick up my check from McDonald's. So I go over to her house. I mean, she was babysitting and she had kids in the tub, right? And they were going to be in there for a little bit. So she just let them play in the tub. So we was going to be able to get it in and be out. When I tell y'all, my motherfucking nerves was so bad. So fucking bad, man. It was like listening to J. Cole's record, and I ain't never did this before, no. I ain't never did this before, no. And I had never did this before, no. So I get there, we're there. She's like in prime position. I have my American Pie motherfucking moment. I came before we even began. And then I made up this bullshit ass story like, you know what? We can't do this. We can't do this shit. It's not right. I forget what the fuck I said. It's some shit like that. But, and I ended up going up to the job picking up my check. I still had to go pick up my check. But it didn't pan out the way I thought it would because of fear. My nerves were bad, man. I just didn't know what the fuck to do. But I was gonna tear it down, you know what I'm saying? She was like, even for high school, plus size. I'm into plus size women. I live with that. You know what I'm saying? I like all women, but I'm definitely into like plus size women to a certain degree. I don't do precious, but Ashley Graham and the other black model that's thick like her, I forget her name. Shit. But y'all know her. You see it in the goddamn Old Navy ads or random shit, but she got curly hair. She's real pretty. So I think her name starts with a T or something like that. But yeah. So she's like she's like plus size or whatever. And I was ashamed of it back then. Of course, shallow, ego, and just the overall dick when it comes to that, and not standing like in who I am and just trying to please other people, but not getting what I want. And but yeah. She was bad. She was bad. Nice lips, all of that. I couldn't. Yeah, I was just nervous. The nerves were there. And then there's also, I'll leave y'all with a little bonus episode of embarrassing sex stories. So I was eating my girlfriend at the time, right? You know what I mean? And I'm eating it good. And I eat fucking good. I love to eat. All right. And so I guess she lost track of where she was because all of a sudden, I could smell it. She farted in my face while I was fucking eating the pussy, and it was strong because you could see the green. Like in cartoons, you got like that green fuse when people fart or some shit. You could see that green in the room, and I was like, ooh. And I had to back up because that little twang, like you don't want to eat with twang. It's like, oh, like damn, I tasted that. But what I'm saying? It happened. We was like, it's just, yeah, whatever. And yeah, it happened. Well, I guess I consider it as a sex story. But she still got knocked. She still got knocked out. She still got that back knocked out. You know what I mean? You know, had to do what he had to do. Incredible Hulk on scene. Had to handle business. But she damn sure farted in my face while I was eating the pussy. So, fellas, be careful down there. Be careful if she, if she have anything gassy. Make sure she's, not eating too much fiber. And maybe have water 8 hours before fucking. I don't know. Whatever prevents a woman from farting in your face. Do what you got to do. All right. So, one small thing a person can do each day that greatly improves their life. Gratitude. Practice gratitude. You understand me? Folk, do not focus on what you do not have. You will get depressed by that shit. I'm a living witness to this, and I'm sure many of those out there can say the very same thing. When you focus on what you don't have, it brings you the fuck down, and you forget about all that you do have. They've been like, oh, I'm not able to, like for instance, for me, I'm not able to see my daughter every fucking day. But I got a job, I have a car, I have music, I have a relationship with my daughter. Nevertheless, I have my family, my parents are still here. There's so many things. Make a gratitude list. That's one thing you can do. You can make a gratitude list that will help you. It does. When you start running off like, what's 3 things you're grateful for? And my best friend, Takara Simmons, she did that. Smurf, what up, Smurf? T-Dot, what's up, boo? I love you. And she would always text me, like, what you grateful for today? Good morning, King. What you grateful for? And instantly, when you run off like 3 things that you're grateful for, you actually feel better. So I feel like that's something that I would recommend that people could do daily, is make a gratitude list and just decide that, hey, I'm going to better myself, and I'm going to focus on the positive versus the negative. And you don't just not recognize the negatives, you just try to learn from them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to dwell on the past, you want to learn from the past. And that is something that I could not fucking figure out for the longest. I was holding on to every fucking bad thing that I've done, a bad test I got in the 7th grade. I'm just holding on, I'm not good enough, all that shit. But to actually go through life and be like, it's time to let this shit go, man. I can't let this shit hold me down so I can fucking fly. I got to fly. And I look forward to the days ahead with all the knowledge that I'm obtaining and trying to be better, because I had not forgiven myself for a lot of shit in my life. Decisions I made very young, very scared, living in fear instead of living in love, and I wouldn't even do it today. So I'm convicting an innocent person, and you must learn from your mistakes. You have to let go of the past. You have to decide that you're going to be better. From that, whatever moment you have, when you have your epiphany, like, I'm going to be a better person. Fuck whatever the fuck I just did, you know what I'm saying, in the past. I know I hurt some people, and that's up for them to get over those things that they felt like hurt them. Because very well, I could not give a fuck and move on with life. But if they're still dwelling on that, they're only hurting themselves. So when people do shit to us, we are only hurting ourselves when we hold on to shit. You know what I'm saying? Those people are long gone, moving the fuck on. You think about like the guy's heart you broke probably like in high school or college or military, whatever. And he's just not over you. And you didn't go on off, had a fucking family, had kids, got divorced, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But they're still going on that, and they just hurt that way. And you have to find a way to forgive yourself for what you didn't know. That is the daily thing. That's another thing, making that gratitude list and then forgiving yourself, learning to forgive yourself. And I'm in closing, I'll say, making a gratitude list is something you can do. You decide what self-reflect at your life, realize what you're grateful for, realize how great of a life you have, the fact that you even have life, and what, again, others Others are like wishing that they had the life that you had, and you still have time to complain. I mean, the way you feel, your opinion is very important. But there are a lot of people that are wishing for the life that you have right now that you're complaining about, because you're wishing about a life that you could have. That's why it's best for us to practice gratitude. So I feel like if we practice gratitude, our lives ultimately get better. We get better. The only way the world is going to heal is by doing self-improvement. So work on yourself. Figure out how the fuck you're going to get better. Practice gratitude and get your shit together.